Welcome everyone to Your Our Unity, a show that wishes to spread a spirit of peace and love in the world, one conversation at a time.
None of that affects how you are going to change the world.
That's right.
No, it does not take one person to change the world, but it takes one person to believe in themselves.
Yes.
That they can make a difference.
I love
to
that.
Inspire others.
And that's why, for me, I try to make it my purpose now to try to help other people realize their self-worth.
Yeah.
Because it's so sad that so many of us, we get destroyed based off of what other people have to say.
Yeah.
I would say do it in your own way. Make sure you're doing it on your own accord and take a risk.
Go out there and live your life passionately. Believe in everything that you're doing and believe in the fact that you will accomplish every single goal. Welcome everyone to Your Our Unity, a show that wishes to spread a spirit of peace and love in the world, one conversation at a time. We want to encourage you to strengthen your community. For social and economic growth, we have to get involved. It is time for us to build connections, for us to collaborate with one another, support one another, also respect one another. It is with all of that we can impact our community so greatly. Remember that you, little old you, yeah, I'm talking to you, can be the link that makes your community stronger and more empowered. I am your host, LeShawn Walker. I'd like to welcome you in. Please like, share, and follow. Let everyone know that we're on right now. How are you, my beautiful people? It's been a while since I've seen you. I hope that you have been enjoying this horrible weather. I'm telling you, it has been crazy. We are either melting or we are drowning in rain. So whatever state, country, town you're in, I hope that you're safe. I understand that there's a horrible tornado or hurricane that's hitting different places. So please just make sure that you take cover and that you're staying dry and that you're staying safe. As I mentioned, it's been a couple of weeks since I've seen you. This past summer, I have been so busy. I hit the ground running. As soon as it got sunshine, some sunshine outside, I wanted to go out and just enjoy not only the summer, but support the people in my community, the people that I love. I wanted to travel. I wanted to participate in all of the events that were going on. I wanted to be a part of something. And then I realized that I was burning the candle from two sides. LeShawn had to sit down for a little while. So as I'm sure you guys have heard me say many, many times here on this show, mental health is important, and it is so real. I decided the last week to take a break. Wasn't feeling very well, wasn't feeling my best, wasn't feeling like the sunshine that I usually am. And although I probably look good, I really didn't feel good. I was dealing with headaches for 3 or 4 days, and my body just was feeling exhausted. I decided to just take some time to unwind. I had to cancel a few events, which I'm so sorry I had to do, but it was important so that I can rejuvenate myself. I can restore the energy that I so desperately needed so I could show up to these events and these functions and be a part of my friends and family's lives healthy and stable and secure. And so that's what I did. I took some time to just relax. I let my behind unwind, and it felt so good. So I implore you guys out there that are busy all the time, that feel the need to be part of everything every day, to take some time to rejuvenate yourself, to restore yourself, to make sure that your mental and physical health is intact. Because when it is not, I'm telling you, your body will tell you. And though you want to do all things, it is important that you take some time to just love on yourself a little deeper. Take some time to have those tranquil moments with yourself. Take some time to just sit back and just enjoy the beauty around you instead of always wanting to be a part of it. Because that's me. I always want to be part of everything that's going on. I just want to know what they did, who they with, where they going, can I come? And it just got exhausting. So I suggest that all of you out there, please make sure that your mental health and your physical health is intact. So after I unwind for like a week, I decided I was going to come out from the darkness this Sunday. I wanted to be a part of a community event, two actually, that I did in one day, and they were amazing. And I'm so glad that I had enough energy. I mustered enough energy to actually go. So I want to share with you real quick this week in Unity in the Community. The first event, or both of them rather, was held right in my town. It was celebrating new civic art on the block. It was located at a once plain brick wall on an unassuming one-story building in Hempstead, and it has been transformed into a vibrant mural carrying a powerful political message. On Sunday, activists, organizers, and community members gathered on West Columbia Street in Hempstead for the grand unveiling of this beautiful artwork. The mural aims to promote civic engagement and leadership in immigrant and working class neighborhoods. The mural, painted by renowned Chilean artist Dasik Fernandez, features the faces of activists and community organizers from New York City and Long Island. The artwork boldly declares, "Vota por tu comunidad," choose your neighborhood, inspiring residents to take an active role in shaping their communities. This mural not only beautifies the area, but it also serves as a beacon of empowerment, encouraging everyone to participate in the democratic process and advocate for their communities. And that's exactly what we did that day. It was attended by so many people in the community. I was so impressed at the turnout. They were able to share, while it is so important, why we all get out there and vote this season, it was also sharing, just what the community actually has to offer. If you have any grievances, you have any issues, you have any problems, they had elected officials there that were ready to listen to what your concerns were. It was a powerful, powerful event. And though I made it there kind of late, I still was able to gain so much from it. So if you guys get a moment, please, I hope you go down to West Columbia Street in Hempstead, right off North Franklin, and view that beautiful mural from that amazing artist. It was amazing. I went with my girlfriend Tracy and a couple of other friends I actually saw. They saw me before I saw them. So basically it was filled with people who are all about strengthening their community. And I was so, so honored to be there. Then, after the rain started coming down a little bit, we decided to drive over to celebrating El Salvadorian culture and pride. I don't know if you knew, but in July 2006, Congress officially designated August 6 as National Salvadorian American Day, recognizing and celebrating Salvadorians living in the United States. Well, Hempstead residents and visitors once again came together to honor this special day with a festive celebration brimming with delicious pupusas, lively music, and vibrant cultural expressions. The streets of Hempstead were alive with the rich heritage of Salvadorian Americans, showcasing traditional foods, dance, and music that reflect the deep cultural roots of El Salvador. Families and friends gathered to enjoy the mouth-watering pupusas, a staple of Salvadorian cuisine, with rhythmic beats and inviting everyone to dance and celebrate. Colorful decorations and traditional attire added to the festive atmosphere, creating a sense of unity and pride among attendees. The event not only honored the contributions of Salvadorian Americans, but also provided an opportunity for the community to come together and celebrate their shared heritage. I had a ball. I can't tell you how much fun I had. I was dancing. I don't even know half of the songs. I couldn't even move to half of the dances, but I enjoyed every moment. I was twirling around that parking lot in Hempstead. I was enjoying the aroma of all the delicious food that they had there. In addition, they had performers and they had speakers there that spoke to the culture of El Salvador. It was a hugely attended event. I must say, they had to be El Salvadorians from all over Long Island and beyond. The parking lot was filled, and I love seeing my people there as well. It was a day that everyone came together to celebrate Salvadorians and all that they have contributed to the community. So again, I hope that you guys are out there doing your best to strengthen your communities. It is so very important, especially at this time, this day, and this age. With all of the division in this world, it is more important than ever that we all come together as one, no matter where we're from, no matter what nationality, religion we are. We all need to respect one another, try to love on one another, just try to understand one another. Well, today I want to share with you some amazing young ladies that are also strengthening their community with their organization, Youth Community. We've had one half of the organization here before, and now we're going to have the second half here, as well as one half of the twins that was here before, coming to tell us exactly what they have been doing, catch us up on everything that they've been doing and contributing to their community, and the plans that they have for the future, as well as how you can get involved to help strengthen our community. So the title of the show is Strengthening Our Community. And we'll be speaking with the beautiful Alexa and Jaynyah. Youth Community, founded on November 5th, 2020 by Alexa Allwood, Jaynyah Roberts, and Alyssa Allwood. Youth Community is a dynamic group of ambitious women passionate about uplifting and serving our communities. Based in New York City and Long Island, the organization is dedicated to helping children, families, and those in need through various community service initiatives. Youth Community aims to create a productive and safe space where communities are encouraged to reach their greatest potential. They focus on bridging generational gaps and serving those around them, emphasizing that it all starts with you. Their goal is to positively impact communities by connecting the leaders of today with the leaders of tomorrow through arts, mentorship, charity, sports, education, mental health counseling, and so much more. Alexis Allwood and Jaynyah Roberts are at the forefront of this movement, dedicated to strengthening communities and empowering individuals to strive towards their greatest potential. So please help me welcome the beautiful Alexa and Jaynyah. How are you, ladies?
Hey, it's so nice to see you.
It's so nice to see you too, and they're in unison. It's like we're listening to a music group, folks. I love it. I love it. It's so great to have you here, seriously.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again.
It's great
Thank
to
you for
be
having
here.
us.
Yes.
No problem. It is an honor. I've seen everything that you guys are doing in your community. I follow you guys on Instagram and Facebook, and I love the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
When
Thank you so much.
Sienna and Alyssa was here, we spoke about what Youth Community is and what its impact is in the community. So I just want you to share real quick with those who don't know and probably didn't watch that episode, but you can always go back. Please share with us what Youth Community is.
Okay, so Youth Community, I'm pretty sure Alyssa, well, she's actually here with us in the audience
She's
today.
in the audience.
And Sienna, I know they did a great job explaining it the first time, but Youth Community, our mission, as you said, is to bridge the gap between the leaders of today and tomorrow. So we do this initiative through many different things, but our main three priorities are through mental wellness, physical wellness, as well as artistic development and expression. So we've been doing this since 2020. Most recently, we've done a lot of events that we can't wait to tell you about.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's basically what we're about. And if you missed that last episode, make sure you watch it
Yes.
to find out even more about what we do.
Yes, no,
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that you're focused because we really do have the same mission.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
we are both conveying or trying to convey to the people out there that it is all about you.
Yes.
You have the ability to change the world and that we have to empower ourselves in order to do so.
Yes.
So with Youth Community, share with us how you are doing that in the community.
So I would say ways that we're helping our community is more so at first we started with gauging towards youth, but then we realized like it's everybody as a collective. Piggybacking off of that, we more so wanted to just provide those outlets that we had when we were kids, or more so wanted when we were kids. So things like doing activities out in the community, just having something to do, somewhere to go. Was pretty much what we were built off of, and then from there it was just kind of like, all right, we can do adults too, like, you know, like everybody should be included in this, we could all have fun. And that's pretty much how our not mission, but our motto came together of bridging the gaps between the leaders of today and tomorrow. And it starts with you, because although we had a big focus on youth, it's still there, but it was like, hey, we can really do this for everybody. So yeah, that's
Hence the YOU apostrophe.
Yes, it starts with you.
You know what I mean? And I love the way you guys put that together, because it's highlighting the fact that you are also part of the youth mission.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I love that you are bridging the gap between the leaders of today with the leaders of tomorrow, because that's important. We have to pour into our children and let them see what is possible.
Correct.
But also teach them the better road to take if we didn't take it ourselves. So to get these activities out there and to foster this collaborations and community partnerships with others in order to highlight what you do, I think is very important and so needed at this moment.
Yeah.
So share with me a little about the kind of events that you guys put on.
A lot of mental health events. We're not psychologists or anything like that, but we do like to do a big focus on just like some type of mental relief and coming to our events and being able to decompress and open up with others and being able to just walk away feeling better than when you came in. That's pretty much it. It's as a collective, a lot of things, but I think a big focus is just wanting people to feel better. You know, not worrying about what's going on outside of the event, just really honing in on the purpose of the event and things like that.
I love that. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, mental health is so important. And I tried so desperately to get to a mental health event that you had. I did buy a ticket. I saw
the ticket come through.
It's like, that's my contribution. I tried to make it, and just the world happened. You know what I mean? But tell me why you think now mental health is so important, and that we teach our kids how to do that, how to decompress, how to take those moments, how to breathe. How important do you feel that is right now in this world?
I feel like being that social media has become a huge role in everyone's lives, but more specifically the younger generation coming up. I feel like it kind of has, you know, made it harder to have those conversations around mental health. It's made it harder for them to just be in social groups and settings where those conversations normally just naturally come up. So we feel like our role and responsibility is to create those environments, since they're not as present as they may have been before.
No, I totally agree. Well, I have questions, because you know, guys, I can talk and I'll be all off subject, kinda, but I actually wrote questions. So I want to ask you the questions that I wrote.
Okay.
Now, what do you admire the most about being a part of youth community?
I would say I admire most about being a part of youth is creating an environment where people feel welcomed. I think that's very important, where people can feel inclusive, be able to come out, have a good time, participate. I'm big on participation. If you come to any of our events, I'm always first like, all right, get up. If I see somebody's nervous, it's like, oh, answer this question. Like, you know, just taking people out of their comfort zone, things like that. I feel that it kind of gives, not an old school feel, because we're not that old, but like, I feel like youth gives a sense of nostalgia. It's like creating memories and walking away with that. So that's what I admire.
I am very impressed with the fact that every last one of you are young ladies, you know? and I know, you know, that you mentioned that you kind of took some of what you grew up seeing and implementing it into youth community. So tell me, what is the biggest impact you feel you've made by forming this organization so far?
Answer.
Yeah, sure. We made a lot of impacts, but the biggest, I think, is just honestly bridging that gap between the younger generation and the older generation. To give a specific example, we recently had an event. It was actually a collaboration event with the Fort Air Project, so shout out to you guys. But I actually had a mother come up to me and express her gratitude for the fact that we're supplying and, you know, offering activities where she can do with her child, and it can be, you know, meaningful to a 5-year-old as well as to a 35-year-old adult. We were hosting a painting table where basically they were just expressing themselves through color theory and color therapy. So her and her daughter decided to use the color purple because they said it calmed them down. It was both of their favorite color. And she came over to me and she was just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, my daughter and I now can leave from this event with something tangible, as well as a conversation that grew us together, closer together. So, you know, that made me feel really good and definitely made me feel that impact of us bridging the gap between the leaders of today and tomorrow.
Oh, I love that.
I like that.
I think that's important. Go ahead. You want to add to that?
Oh, no, I just said I like that. I'll say, as far as impact, I'll maybe speak to the Easter event. For the first time, I feel like I watched a kid have a core memory on Easter. And like you said, with the parents enjoying it as well, I feel like on Easter, the parents had more fun than the kids, like just doing the activities, running around with the Easter bunny, like things like that. It was just like you could see the kids and the parents coming together. They're able to be in a space, have fun together with their kids. It was just nice to see. Like, it was just one kid where he was a little nervous at first, but as the program went on, he opened up. He ended up winning like one of the grand prizes we had there. And like when we announced his name, he was so shocked, like, oh my gosh, I won this. And it was just kind of like, you could just kind of see, like, I don't know, his soul glow.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was nice to see.
With those events too, those are annual. So speaking on that event specifically, we have people who come back every year to that same event. So I feel like our impact, just creating that community and that following, is also something we see a lot.
Yeah.
Support is so important as well. You know? So with those initiatives and the programs that you've created, how do these programs address the unique needs of the communities that you serve right now?
I would say mental health wise, back in May we had an event, and I feel that the one you were gonna go to, yeah. So nobody really knew each other there.
Wow.
I think that was the most surprising to us. Like, after we really reviewed the guest list and we went over with the person we collaborated, we was just like, yeah, none of us really knew these people. So like, everybody came from everywhere and was able to come out and really have like a group therapy session where people you don't even know, everybody just kind of opened up, and just having that sense. You could feel when people left, like, definitely that just weight lifted off of their shoulder. They were able to come in, have a good time, play games, things like that, but also just really have a deep conversation and connect with people around. I feel like that is what we're missing nowadays with social media. It's kind of hard to get in real, touch and tune with others across a screen. So just bringing that in-person interaction back was definitely like just good to see.
I love that. You gotta have another one.
Yes, we
We
will.
wanted to have one this August, but didn't happen. But yeah, definitely coming soon.
All right, good. Keep me posted.
Yes,
of
ma'am.
course,
I want to be a part of that. All right, can you share a success story or a moment that stands out to you as particularly impactful in your journey with youth community?
I will say, just building our team. As you guys know from the last episode, it started off with the three of us, myself, Jaynyah, and Alyssa in the audience. But once we kind of got the ball rolling and, people started coming to our events and started seeing like our execution and how successful it was, people just wanted to join or just learn more. So we ended up building our team to about 6 ladies. We also have number 7 as a volunteer, but our main team is ladies of 6, and these ladies, the other 3, reached out to us because they said, oh my gosh, I see what you guys are doing. I really want to be a part of it. So I feel like for me, that was a moment where I looked at Alyssa and Jaynyah, like, we're doing something. Like, we're doing something that is changing people's lives. We're doing something that people want to be a part of so that they can do the same. So that was definitely probably the biggest moment for me thus far.
I love that. I love that. What about you?
Still kind of thinking. But I would maybe say us actually just starting. Because we met in college, if you guys didn't know.
Yes.
So I feel like for a couple of years we always was like, yeah, we're gonna open a community center. It was just always kind of like talk.
Right.
And just one day we were just sitting at the park randomly. We were just like, yeah, so let's just start now. Like, what is holding us back and things like that. And at first we were a little, not all feet in, we got our feet wet a little bit, but after a while we was just like, all right, let's take accountability. Let's really put this together. Let's, come up with the back plan. What are we doing? What do we stand for? What's our mission? What's our goal? Things like that. I feel like I was most proud of just the three of us for really just keeping our word, because after college we really could have went your guys are sisters, but we could have went our separate ways. So I'm glad that we were able to still keep that connection and just connect and carry on our dream.
And follow through on your word and like you said, your dream. You know what I mean? And unfortunately it had to happen during the right before during the pandemic, right?
But it was honestly kind of great timing because I feel like the community needed that. Like we needed a space. Obviously at that time a lot of our events were virtual, but still like the community needed that space and that like camaraderie amongst each other. So it was kind of like the perfect time, honestly.
I would say that was my most proud moment, just starting. I know that's just the beginning, but
I love it. No, that is because it shows that you put in the work and look at what you've produced. You know what I mean? And it's a wonderful success. It really, really is. I see so much of what you guys are doing and how it's helping not only the youth but the adults as well. You know, and that is what I think is important, and it speaks to what your mission is, you know, and you're actually accomplishing that. So I'm so proud of you. Tell me, what were your challenges? Did you come across any challenges in building this to what you wanted it to be? Or did you feel any type of so share that.
I wouldn't say necessarily a challenge, but I would say because we started off as friends, shifting from that friendship to we're business now, like kind of like getting everybody like we have to learn each other's business personality now versus like a friendship, and then just going over like roles and responsibilities. I feel like it was easy to say like, Alexa's gonna do operations. It was obvious for me to do events, and then Alyssa with doing like PR and stuff like that. But I feel like at the beginning we was so hands-on, like we all wanted to help with everything. If it came to flyers, all right, let's all meet up, we're gonna do this all together. I would just say as time went on, we just learned like, okay, we do have to separate the roles a little bit. Everybody has, their roles and responsibilities. We're still gonna all be able to put in our input, but it's good to just separate. So just sitting here now, like with you all, it's just kind of like good to look back and say like, okay, like I definitely see how we've confidently stepped more into our purpose and roles and youth.
And grown too.
Yeah,
right?
the growth.
I could imagine, and getting to know each other on a deeper level, because like you said, it's a friendship is so much different than a professional relationship. You know, and you also have to hold each other accountable. And sometimes that's hard, you know, when you're trying to maintain that friendship. So I'm sure balance is so important. And I'm sure you've had your moments when you're like,
oh no. But we set it up professionally. We'd be like, all right, guys, we're gonna have a debrief.
We're gonna have a meeting.
I love that. I love that, and that's so important. Again, even for people with just friendships, you have to have that sort of balance.
Exactly.
You know? Not write people off when they're not feeling and doing what you expect them to do. You know what I mean? But just still have that balance and that respect for one another. You know. All right. So one of your goals is to bridge generational gaps. Can you explain how your organization facilitates this and why it's important for community development?
Let me answer you.
I would say that, well, the example that I gave previously, of course, with the mother and her daughter, her expressing that she was able to do something with her child that was meaningful and purposeful at the event. But I would say just we host events of all ages. Sometimes they are together, like the one that I spoke on, but we also have our annual Easter event. We also have our annual mental health awareness event for adults. So we do both, but we don't exclude. Like if someone comes to the mental health awareness event and they bring their child, of course, if their child is able to be a part of the conversation, if they're a teenager, that's beautiful. We want to accept every single person in the generation in the community to be a part of all of our conversations and all of the impacts that we're trying to put to our community.
I love that. Knowing the state of the world is right now, and knowing that there is sort of a disconnect between the youth and the adults, and the fact that youth are not really engaged in what's going on in the world to some degree, and thinking that it's not going to affect them in their future. How do you speak to that in bridging that gap?
Let's see. So I would say, I feel like we haven't got there yet, if I could say that. I feel like it is on the way. I would just say really just kind of reaching out to the older groups. Like, even though we do have adult events, I feel like it's still not younger adults, still 30s, we've had 40s, 50s and things like that. But as far as like older generations and stuff, I feel like we have to just set that up in a sense where we can maybe find some type of program that can be something where it's truly like older generations are here, younger generations, something like that. I know we've done a field day, was more geared towards kids, but it could be something as simple as having like a community of barbecue type of thing. You know, everybody loves to eat. So food is gonna bring people together. So I'd say that's the first step. But yeah.
What kind of conversations were you guys having at? Because I know that it has to be a teachable moment for people as well.
Right.
So I'm sure you're inviting obviously them to be vulnerable and having conversation. But what are you teaching, or what are you sharing that you think is needed in order to bridge that gap?
I would say, just speaking specifically to the event that you were referring to, that's the beauty of our network. A lot of people learn and take away from our events things because we have professional people like therapists and psychologists that come with information, come with tools. At our last mental health awareness event, we had a nutritionist who came, and I learned a lot because I didn't know that there's certain foods that definitely can help stable our mental health. If you're feeling down, you could eat this, you can eat that. Definitely, go to our Instagram to look at that post to find more about that nutritionist if you're, interested. But I think that definitely was one of the biggest moments for me where we were literally teaching things that people did not necessarily know before, and to all of those different generations that were there.
Yeah, no, I love that, and that's important because you're so right. What we put in our body affects our body, and affects our mental state, and it affects us physically, and how we move and how we show up to the world. And I realized that literally when I was just doing too much, and I wanted to be part of everything. I wanted to support everyone. You get invited to, I'm sure, a lot of events, and you want to show up and you want to contribute in some way, but it is not realistic for you to keep doing that at the detriment of your health. So I knew also that I had to start eating better because I'm coming in late, and I'm not, I'm very picky about eating everybody's food. So you go into these events and they have food, but you're like, I think I'll wait. And I'm eating like at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night because I'm home now, but it was not helping me physically, and it showed. So I'm glad that event is something that you shared with the participants. That's really, really good.
Thank you.
All right, so are there any upcoming projects or initiatives that you are particularly excited about? So tell us all about them, and how can we be a part of
What do you
it?
want to start with?
We could start with our run club.
Okay.
So,
what's it called?
YCO Runs.
Okay.
So YCO, as you guys may or may not know, is short for Youth Community. So we've noticed that run clubs have become very popular recently, but it's mainly within the NYC city area.
Do you mean running?
Yes. Okay, but
I'm not
before
I think I'm coming to that one.
before you
You
go
won't
there.
see me at that one.
Yeah, so whoever would like to join. But
Yes, you guys.
we are beginner friendly. Beginner friendly. We are
Yes.
not professional athletes, professional runners. So definitely come out, and you can see on our website and our Instagram the sign up if you're interested. But yeah, so we noticed that there weren't really any on Long Island. So we thought perfect opportunity. One of our core values is physical wellness. So we thought it was a great way to just, have that physical wellness as well as the community, and YCO Runs, beginner friendly.
I love
With
that.
Miss Alexa.
Oh my God! But wait, does beginner friendly mean fast walking?
Beginner friendly means you can run, you can take a break.
We did
Light
a test
jog.
drive, and
What was
me and
that?
Alyssa were stuck in the dust.
You
This
see?
one here
Was Wow, this is probably her
Completely
idea,
that's
her
in the
brainchild.
wind. Yes.
She's talking about this not one in
Yes.
Long Island. She wanted to start with because she wanted to be the one. So I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I'll
Yes.
be walking very fast.
Yes,
no,
that was us
that-
in the back. Like,
Yeah, that is completely fine. But then at one point you will get to running and you'll be shocked.
Okay.
We caught up.
Shocked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, I could do
Alright.
this.
I don't
But
know.
yes.
I'm going to have to take my Wheaties that day. So listen, wait, when is this going to be? Did you set a date yet?
Not as of yet. We're waiting for more signups.
Okay.
So far, it's just been like close friends, families, things like that. But like when more people start signing up, it would just kind of just be based on when people sign up more. So like if somebody's here, she's available, I'm available. Let's go.
Right.
Like type
Really?
of thing.
So where are you running? You have a
Hempstead Lake Park.
Really?
They have a beautiful track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that it goes across like all the lakes that they have there.
Right.
So that's where we've been running.
You
But
have a mile marker, like
Yes, 3
Okay.
miles.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's 3 miles.
Not fully running though.
Okay,
Cool
that's
up,
okay.
cool down.
yes, there's beautiful scenery, some benches to
I'm
sit
just
on.
going for the scenery. It's going to be a cool stroll for LeShawn.
Yes.
But I'm so impressed with that. That's amazing. And again,
you.
all about physical health and wealth.
Right,
And so
exactly.
you're doing that. What else? What other initiatives are you excited about?
We have an event coming up this Sunday. That's August 11th?
Yes.
August 11th. We have an event coming up in Brooklyn. It's called a Great Day in Brooklyn. We're collabing with Truth is Studios.
Shout out.
It's pretty much just a big community initiative. It's centered around artists and creative burnout. But overall, I think everybody can have some sort of burnout in their life, so everybody is welcome to come and join. We'll have workshops, writing workshops, massages. What else? We have the back to school drive.
Yes. We'll be distributing school supplies at the
Yes.
event, so please come out. If you're a college student, if you have children, come on over.
Yes.
I love it. And this is in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Brooklyn.
This Saturday?
King
This
Herbert
Sunday.
Bond
Sunday.
Park.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So yes, definitely check out their Instagram because I'm sure you're going to be
Promoting it.
posting and promoting. Okay, perfect. And you'll get all that information at the end of the show. Okay, I
Yes.
love that. I love it. Now, in your view, how does the work of youth community contribute to the broader societal change? Now, I kind of asked that question in a way in regards to bridging the gap, but what ripple effects do you hope to see as a result of your efforts?
So I would say I'm not saying we're in the beginning of our journey, but we're definitely not where we want to be. In the future, our ultimate goal is to open a community center. So with that, it would have different sections in it where it's like you have the sports, you have the music, the dance, the arts, you also have a mental health wing, financial literacy, things where people can come and just get help, whether it's housing, things like that. We want to have a community center where everybody can find a need to be there, type of thing. Like whoever you are, you can find something to do. There'll be something.
I love that. And what about
Yeah.
you? What do you think about that question and how it's going to result in your efforts?
I definitely agree with Jaynyah because our main goal is to have our community center and to have, a safe space, just for everyone to come and do all those initiatives we're talking about, the physical wellness, the mental wellness, the artistic, expression and outreach. So I definitely agree with her. That's what we're mostly looking forward to. And that's what I think our biggest impact is going to be at that point. Like trust me, we have a plan, we're aligned.
Yes.
we see the
Just
end
gotta
goal.
Make it happen.
Yes,
What do you
exactly.
see is most needed right now, though, in
That's a good
what
question.
you're doing, but also in your community?
I would definitely say, I know we're talking a lot about mental health, but it's real. Like
Yeah.
it's really most needed.
That's
For sure, it really is most needed. But on top of our events, of course, we also do like our toy drives, our food drives, because that's always a need as well in our communities, just to make sure that everyone has access to things like, food, during our holiday season, distributing toys to people who may not be able to afford it. So we just always want to make sure that we're keeping our community as like even, if that's the right word, or like just with that camaraderie of like, we're all going to be able to be a part of something, whether it's, Christmas, having kids for your children, whether it's, making sure that we can help somebody put food on their table. So
Yeah, I would say the need that I feel that we would need is just more so a sense of being yourself.
Yes.
I feel like in the day and age of social media, we're able to really see everybody's lives. Not that that's how their lives are going, but how they portray it to be. So it's really easy to just fall into different narratives that may not fit yourself. So I just feel like being more positive, just being a better person. I would say me personally, with just being a part of youth, it's definitely helped me bring more attention to myself on how I take care of myself personally, how I carry myself, how I'm presenting myself to others. 'Cause I feel like it's important. I think everybody should be working to just be a better person so that others can see that and kind of lead by example, like others will eventually follow.
I love that. And I love that you're also, you mentioned, Alexa, that you're filling a need, you know. There are very many communities that surround us, although, you know, they go to work and they have a car and they have a roof over their head, they're still struggling, you know, and they can't provide for, you know, the luxuries that most have for their children, even down to putting food on their table, like a nice, real home-cooked meal. So I love the fact that you have these food drives, and also during Christmas you have the gift drive, making sure that these kids also walk away so they can go back to school and say, I got something for Christmas, you know what I mean? Because a lot of families have to sacrifice one or the other. So I love that. I think that's important. And as for what you said, Jaynyah, you're right, for us to realize who we are, you know what I mean, and show up in our authentic selves every single day. Exactly. Put a plan like you guys did, put a plan on the table and actually execute it, you know, and let everyone know, every youth out there, every adult out there know that they can accomplish great things if they just put in the work and the action, you know what I mean? So I love that. I love you. I just love your organization.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you think community service and empowerment organizations like yours can help address some of the largest social issues we face today?
If you don't mind repeating the question.
Sure.
Thank you.
How do you think community service and empowerment organizations like yours can help address some of the largest social issues we face today?
I would say start small. We're not the biggest organization around, but I feel like telling a person to tell a person, it works. And just honestly, social media is good and bad, but social media really is just how you, at this point, can get the biggest broadcast on getting your word across.
Yes, and speaking on what Jaynyah just said, given social issues like artist burnout, given social issues like mental health, you know, awareness, I definitely think we just provide spaces to have those conversations and talk about those social issues. And the people who come to our events are people who are in those fields regarding the event that we're catering to, but they make connections. You know, they're community organizers, people that have, you know, places of power within these social issues that can actually make a change. So I think the fact that we bring those people together is like our biggest impact when it comes to those social issues.
And it is important for, you know, organizations like yourselves and others to put the people on the outside in the forefront. You know what I mean? A lot of people start organizations just because they want to have a business, you know, not really knowing what the true needs are of the people. It's not just always about giving. You have to teach, you know what I mean? You have to educate, you have to inform. So I see that you guys are doing that, and I love that you're focusing a lot on the kids as well, because a lot of them need guidance, you know, and it's beautiful to see that they can actually look up to people that look closer to their age than a person, I'm not gonna say me, but you know, 'cause I'm still very youthful, but for people who are older, as if they're talking down to them, you know what I mean? You're actually showing them that in what you're doing and in how you're doing it, it can be achieved no matter what age you are, but also to do it because it's going to make you a better person. You know what I mean? So I love that. I do. So the title of the show is Strengthening Our Community. So I want you to tell me real quick, what does that mean to you? I expressed what it meant to me, but what does that mean to you?
Strengthening our community to me is just providing outlets for our community to have those conversations like we talked about, but also just, you know, being that our mission is to bridge the gap between the leaders of today and the leaders of tomorrow, is just to create that leader aspect. Like, to create that confidence within members of our community from younger to older, to know, like, you can be that leader, you can strengthen yourself, you can be in a room of leaders and learn something to the point where you can now leave that event, you can leave that conversation and impact somebody else. So that's what I would say.
And you, Jaynyah?
I would say strengthening our community just looks like, let's see. Just,
What you're doing.
yeah, I can't really put it into words. It's kind of a feeling to me personally, but like, just in the sense of having everybody together. And I don't want to say the old school feel again, but more so I feel like years ago, more people were hands-on. It was more hands-on. If a child, let's say, was misbehaving, somebody might come in and walk in and say, hey, be nice to your mom. Like, like little things like that, little things, just people being a little bit more aware of what's going on around them and just helping the next person out, is what I would say. Just
Where do you get that compassion and empathy
that's a
from?
great
Because
question.
that's what it takes, in order for you to do what you're doing. So where did this come from, and how important is it for us all to gain that level of compassion?
I feel like me personally, as a child, I had organizations similar to what we're doing that provided some of the outlets, not all, but that's what we're here for, to do all. But I think my compassion really came from just giving back and kind of paying it forward to what I received, because there's definitely a lot of influential people in my life that, till this day I can thank for how they've impacted me, the things that they've taught me, the path that they've led me down. So I just want to be that for somebody else.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say childhood, just how I was raised. Shout out to my family, strong Black woman. Just growing up, I would say it was just not pushed or forced, but it came naturally. My family, we always give back. I was just pretty much raised into it, giving back to others, being raised in a church, things like that. It just kind of carried on pretty much.
So what do you love the best about not only being with your friends in this professional setting now, but in contributing to the strengthening of your community?
Networking.
Networking?
Yeah, I feel like meeting new people, even how we bumped into
Yes,
you, kind of like,
yes.
just meeting new people. It's good to see it happen in real life. I feel like it's something that I've personally prayed on, just asking God to put me in different rooms and things like that. So like to just see it come to fruition when we are able to make connections and we're all excited, like, guys, like we really, like debrief and stuff, like, okay, like we met somebody, or, long lasting relationship. Here we are a year or a year later. So just still in connection I love it.
I would say definitely seeing the smiles on people's face when they leave our event, seeing the relationships that they form at the events, that definitely makes me feel so fulfilled. And just we're doing something, we're making a difference. So just to see the difference that we're making, and the difference in not just, okay, you just went to this event, but no, you left with something from this, something very impactful and that you can take with you.
Yes, I love that, because you're so right. It's not that I went to the event and I'm the founder of the youth community, and the spotlight is, oh, she's a young Black business owner. It's actually what you gain from it, which is basically what my next question is. Reflecting on your journey so far, what are some key lessons that you've learned?
I've definitely learned that dividing and conquering is the way to go. Kind of speaking on what Jaynyah spoke on earlier. I've also learned a lot about myself, like what it takes to be a leader, what it takes to run an organization. So I feel like I would definitely say I've taken away just a lot of professional development. I've taken away a lot of public speaking skills, hence being on the show. So I feel like it's just really allowed me and us to grow as young Black women, so definitely grateful.
I would agree. I don't really have yeah. I mean, your answer is kind of my answer,
Okay.
essentially.
Well, it is kind of true because I think I asked all of them to come on, and it was like only 2 of them was okay. I'm ready. No, I'm not ready. No, I'm ready. So no, I see that you definitely have grown in your space.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
it was still new to you, and now you are owning who you are and what you have to contribute, and I'm sure the fact that you have so much support and so many people that believe in your mission and believe in what you're doing makes it so much easier as well. I was afraid as well. I mean, I still don't think I know everything, and before I used to honestly think that I did. I had to know so much more of what I was doing, but it isn't. It's about learning as you go along. As long as your heart is in the right place and you know that you're doing it for the right reason and you genuinely, authentically want to provide for others and you want to be sort of like that anchor for others, you don't have to know everything.
It becomes effortless.
And I feel like that's stuff that we learn because it's 3 of us, so it's always in conversations like, all right, somebody got to know something. But at one point, it was just kind of like, all right, we don't know. Like, let's start looking into this. Like, we would even set meetings aside for certain things. Like, all right, let's just meet on this. Let's look up YouTube videos. Let's just listen, see what people are saying, things like that. So, yeah, I think you learn within it.
And you're so right, because that's how you find out what the actual true real need
Yeah.
is. Because you think about it, you have your overall vision of what you want things to be. I know I did. I had an overall vision of what I thought your unity was until you do have to do the research. You have to actually listen to what people are actually in need of and not what you think they need. So I love the fact that you take those times to sort of educate yourself and research the things that is important to the community and not necessarily what's important to you. I think that's really, really good.
Thank you.
All right, so how has working with youth community impacted you personally and professionally? Because I know that you also, as well as I, have a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? And we have to provide. We have to, make sure that our bills are paid and we're taking care of ourselves. In addition to being that vehicle for others. So how are you taking care of yourself? How has it impacted you professionally and personally, but more importantly, how are you making sure that you keep that balance in your life?
I would definitely say time management is a huge thing. Early on, we discussed as a team, like just having blocks of time during the week. Okay, like, so, you can reach out to Alexa during Tuesdays, Wednesdays at this time, Jaynyah Thursdays, Fridays at this time. Definitely just the communication around that, being organized. Youth has helped me be very organized in my own life as well as my professional life. Just systems that we've learned, along the way. Shout out to Google Sheets, Excel, all that stuff. Because trust me, when I tell you, they're always laughing at me because they're like, "Oh, you always want to do a spreadsheet."
A trajectory.
a trajectory. When I tell you, I love it. I love it. But a lot of the stuff that I use for youth, I've applied to my own life, and I've also applied to my professional life. But I feel like overall, youth, I feel like the biggest impact for my personal and professional life has been just my confidence and my leadership that I've developed over time. When you're, hosting an event, when you're speaking in a room of people, hosting a meeting, leading a meeting, you kind of just have to get used to it. It's just roll with the punches, and then before you know it, you're like, oh wait, I said that? I did that? It's like you almost shock yourself sometimes, but it's very, thanks be to God. It's just very rewarding feeling. And yeah, so that's how it's impacted me the most that way.
Yeah, I would say youth has impacted me professionally and personally, just holding myself more accountable. I feel that it's helped me with just self-care, having a little bit more care about myself. Again, as I said earlier, just the way I present myself to others and how I carry myself. Yeah, pretty much that, just caring more about myself. I feel like stepping into my confidence, I feel like I've taken myself out of my comfort zone. Just even being here today, like she said, a year ago, we were not the ones to come.
They were scared. Well, they were scared.
Just doing that. I feel like solo dates and taking myself out on solo dates, things like that.
Because it starts
important.
with
You.
Yeah.
I
If you don't believe in solo dates, try it. It's great.
Yeah, I gotta try one.
Yeah, it's just something.
I used to be scared too. Let me tell you, I am the person that I need a friend to go with me to the store.
Yeah, that's that's why I forced
I had
myself.
to break
Yeah.
out of that, and I actually had a lunch. But well, technically, my friend was like over an hour late, but I still was
Yeah,
in
of
that
course,
space for over an hour by myself, and it
Mm-hmm.
was the most rewarding, most intimate moment
Mm-hmm.
that I possibly could have had with myself. I learned so much about myself. I was people watching. I was talking to myself. I was thinking. It was
Yeah.
time for me to just have a moment with myself, because even when you're by yourself, you're not truly with yourself. You know what I mean? So it gave me that moment to just sit there and just focus on nothing but my thoughts, my desires, my just everything. And it felt so amazing. So I love that you say that. And yes, you guys out there, please do that. Take a moment to just have a you date, you date. And you will love yourself so much more that you could spread that love with your family, your friends, and the rest of the world. And that's how we strengthen our communities. So, time is almost winding down. I want to know real quick before we go, what is on your heart? What would you like to share with the Your Our Unity and youth community audience?
It starts with you. I think that the last question that you presented to us was perfect, because I feel like it just goes with our mission. It goes with what we're all about. It starts with you, whatever you want to do in your life. You just have to put in that time, that energy. You have to be dedicated. You have to have a plan. You have to have a trajectory of what it is exactly that you want to do. And just don't be afraid. Like, you know, like for us, like we were just like, let's just start. Like, you know, there's nothing stopping you. And the longer it takes you to start, the longer it takes you to start. You know, you're just going to be thinking about it. So definitely, if you have a dream, if you have a passion, go ahead and go after it.
Yes, everything she said times 2.
Yes. And it is so true. The longer it takes you to start, I feel it's the longer it's going to take you to finish the dream.
That's a
You know
good
what I
one,
mean? Because again, you're only hindering yourself. The world is waiting for you. You know what I mean? Your ideas matter, your thoughts matter, your impact on what you have inside, it matters. So don't waste any time getting it done. I am so serious. So I love you guys. I so thank you so much for being here. We're going to put up your information where you can reach out to these fabulous girls. They are youth community. That is YOU''TH. They are on Instagram, on Facebook, and you can also email them if you want to get involved, if you want to contribute, if you just want to be a part of this amazing organization. There is the information, and please take it down, take a screenshot, do whatever you need to do. All right, again, Alexa, thank you so much for being here. And Jaynyah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. This was not going to be the last
Thank you for
time.
waiting for us to be comfortable.
Yes, I know. It feels so good. It feels so good. I'm glad. I'm so glad. But also, again, I know that there's going to be so many more nuances to this organization. So you're going to be coming back so that we can share that with the audience, okay? And maybe next time we can have all of you guys here.
That would
Okay?
be nice.
That would be so dope. All right, we're going to get real quick to the Dare to Be You. And it is simply, true strength lies in the bonds we build within our community. For together we can uplift, support, and create a brighter future for all. So let's, and I say all of us, including youth community, unite to strengthen our community. Reach out to a neighbor, volunteer your time, support local businesses, and lend a helping hand. Together we can make a difference and build a community where everyone thrives. So join us in making our community stronger today. I'd like to thank you guys for being here. I'd like to thank you, the audience, for tuning in. Yes, to another fabulous episode of Your Our Unity. I hope that you guys got a better understanding of how much these young ladies are contributing to the strength that our communities need. I need you to get out there and do the same thing. Little OU can contribute so much if you just take the time to get involved. We will see you next week on Your Our Unity. Please remember that I love you, and peace and love is in the palm of our hands. So let's go out there and be some love, give some love, and just share some love. We'll see you next week on Your Our Unity. In the meantime, you guys have a wonderful evening, and we love you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.